admitted to talking to another woman when I was in the same household with you, yes. But if you just admitted and said that you were single, how did I cheat on you then? That's not cheating.
Let me reword what I'm trying to say then. You was talking to another female.
And I already admitted to that.
And you did admit it.
I admitted to that.
My next question is, after you did that, what was like, did you have any, like, what is the word? Did you have any thoughts like what you was doing was wrong?
I thought about my family. I thought about trying to make things work with you. But like we keep talking about communication, you never reached out to me not one time. And I was working while you said you were single, or whatever you want to call it. I was going to work every day, busting my behind, breaking my back, and still coming home. And not one time did you say anything to me. So you talking about communication.
But at that time, you had an addiction problem. You was addicted to video games.
No, it's not an addiction. It's not an addiction.
Every day,
it's not an addiction. How can I play a game all day, every day if I'm going to work? If I'm going to work working 11, if I'm working 11 hours a day to provide for my family, I'm sorry if I want to play the game.
Going half on rent. What were you providing?
What do you mean? What was I providing? I was getting stuff for the kids and getting stuff for you and everything. Don't sit here and lie.
But I had to say something.
You didn't have to say nothing. No.
Why are you getting all defensive?
You keep sitting here lying. I was taking care of my family.
What am I lying about?
You're lying about several things. Acting like I wasn't paying. You keep saying half of rent. Yeah.
Okay.
But if you asked for anything out of my pocket, I gave it to you.
If I'm lying, then why are you still with me?
Because we made things work. But what you're saying is false. Because you're talking about the past.
We make things work.
You're talking about the past. That's not the future. Okay, that's not right now.
How do you work on something with your partner? How do you work on something?
You're supposed to be able to sit down.
Aren't you supposed to have communication?
Communication comes from both people. Communication is not just from one person. And I'm glad you keep saying communicate. So if I'm right, why wasn't you saying nothing? Why wasn't you talking? Because you keep trying to make it seem like, oh, I'm supposed to say something. No, you're wrong. You are supposed to be entitled to say something too. It ain't just me all the time.
A female has to say so. A female gets to decide if she wants to stay in this relationship or not. Because if a female is not satisfied in one relationship, she has the right to move on.
And a man will go too. Okay. You saying that a man won't.
And at that time, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, because I really thought about moving on, and I really thought about breaking up with you, and then I wanted us to, separate, because I thought in my mind that this relationship wasn't going to work, because there's too many lying, too many disrespect, there's too many, false promises, and it was like your words wasn't matching up with your action, and I kind of felt like you wasn't putting in enough effort in keeping this relationship together.
And you keep saying enough effort. What is enough effort? Effort is when somebody is doing everything. No. Effort is when the person is doing everything in their power that they can do. And anything that I can do is an effort. You're confusing yourself when you're using terms, because effort is when you are trying. Effort is trying. That is what an effort is when you're trying. So what are you talking about?
So why were you not trying to be faithful to me?
You weren't together. We weren't in a relationship. So you keep saying, well, I wasn't trying to be faithful with you. I wasn't with you.
It is a man's job to make the effort and trying to work this relationship out.
But if you're telling me you're single, then there is nothing for me to work.
If a man is really in love with a woman, then he will do anything in his power to make sure that she does not move on.
No, not if you're not. No, you're wrong.
I don't know where you're coming from, and I don't know why you're thinking this way.
Because
all
that's
I'm
what
saying is, why in your heart, why did you feel like you still wanted to be with me, even though you lied to me, you not cheated on me, but you talked to another female, and you didn't even
Because you didn't communicate with me neither. We both didn't communicate with each other.
That's not what a relationship is all
Exactly,
about.
but relationships...
Relationship is not about keeping secrets. Relationship is not about holding secrets from their partner.
But people make mistakes, and you made mistakes too. So don't sit here and say you didn't. So relationships is about getting through the mistakes that you made and admitting that the mistakes that you made, and then you work on that, and that's how you make things work. Relationships ain't perfect, so stop sitting here.
I didn't say relationships
I
were
didn't say you
perfect.
did. I'm saying relationships ain't perfect, and there ain't no relationship in this world that is perfect.
And
so
remember,
you're sitting here trying to tell me.
And there was moments when I questioned myself, like, are we even perfect?
There is no perfect.
No. Let me finish talking ever. You're doing way too much. Let me finish what I'm saying, and then you get to say what you want. All this cutting me off is not good. You need to stop that.
It's not cutting you
I'm
off.
letting you talk. Let me talk.
If we're having a conversation, that's not cutting you off. I am entitled to speak as soon as you're done talking.
Okay, then let me finish what I have to say first.
Well, you're pausing when you're speaking, so I'm thinking you're done talking. When you pause, when someone takes a pause or a breath,
can I finish talking?
That means you're done talking. Go ahead and talk. You shouldn't have to ask, just talk. That's all you have to do.
Because now you're making me forget my words.
Well, then
so
you can sit here and gather your thoughts and still talk. That's what you can do. But don't sit here and tell me that
this is what I wanted to say, and I don't want you to cut me off. Let me finish. What I was saying was, at that time, I was questioning myself if we was even perfect for each other, or I was questioning myself if this relationship was going to work out or not, because of some of the things that we gone through together. And for me to have to find out that you was talking to another female, that really, that kind of broke my heart a little bit, because I never in my life thought that you would do that to me. I never in my life thought that you would even take it this far. But when I found out that you did, or you was talking to another female, and I just had your baby, that made me feel like I should have never trusted you in the first place. I should have never even opened my door for you to come live with me. It made me feel like I should never ever trust another man again.
It broke your heart because I talked to another woman. But I didn't do nothing else. But I didn't do nothing else with that woman. But it broke your heart do you hear what you're saying? It broke your heart because I talked to another woman. But I didn't do anything sexual in the terms. But your heart is broken because I spoke to another woman.
It doesn't matter if you did something with her or not.
It does.
That's still wrong.
It's wrong for talking to somebody else, yes. But you're supposed to give credit when it's due.
That's still wrong.
You're supposed to give credit when it's due. It's because if your man didn't do anything with that woman, so what if I talked to her? I didn't do anything with that woman. Okay. So that should show where you stand on a pedestal. It should show where you stand. If I didn't do anything with that woman, you're not recognizing none of that.
Maybe that was God.
You're not recognizing none of that.
No.
You're not.
Maybe that was God preventing that from happening.
I chose. I had a choice.
Yes,
and I didn't do nothing.
God has the power to change someone's heart.
And I have the power to go through it. He can't control free will. So if I wanted to do something, I could have did it. But I chose not to. I made the decision. But I made the decision. God does not mess with your free will. So he allows you to do what you choose to do. I only chose to talk to her. And you keep telling me that you're sitting here, it made you heartbroken because I talked to another woman. But see, I ain't even going to touch another topic on something else that happened in the past before I was even here. But you was heartbroken because I talked to somebody, but I didn't even do anything with her though. But you're so upset though. You were so upset in that situation.
Yes, I was upset.
But you didn't talk to me though. Because you didn't communicate with me though. You were so upset.
You told me when we was first FaceTiming each other that you would never do what my ex did to me.
And I didn't do what your ex did because your ex went off and another woman and made kids with another woman. So no, I didn't do what he did. I only talked to another woman. So sorry that you're wrong. You are wrong. I did not go mess
And
with
this
another
is
woman.
why
You're wrong.
we don't see eye to eye. This
We
is
don't
why
see
we
eye.
bump heads a lot because
Because you're right and I'm wrong, right? That's what you're
I
telling
didn't
me?
say you was wrong, and I didn't say I was right.
Well-
all I'm saying is that relationships, the most important thing about being in a relationship with someone is communication and letting their partner know that you're deciding to do something else. You could have told me, that you was talking to another female, and I would have been like, okay, since you're talking to another female, I'm going to talk to another guy, and we need to separate.
You
we need to figure
already
out.
was.
But you didn't want that.
You already
still
was
wanted,
talking to
no,
somebody
you still
else.
wanted to have an attachment to me.
How? If
You
I wasn't
still-
doing nothing with you, how? Do I want an attachment if I'm
Exactly.
not doing nothing with
You
you?
still wanted to play that game. You still wanted me to still, not know anything that you was doing behind my back. But at the same time, you still wanted to work things out with me.
You wasn't
while
talking.
you was still talking
You
to
wasn't
another
talking
female.
to me.
And that's still not cool at all.
You wasn't talking to me. So how
Yes, I
is
wasn't
that the
talking
point?
to you.
So you
Because-
keep telling me communication, but you did not communicate neither. So
Yes.
stop telling. So let them know. Yeah, I was wrong, and I admit it. So if
The only
if I
reason
was
why-
wrong, you wasn't
The only
communicating.
reason why I wasn't communicating was because I was still trying to figure out if I should stay with you or not.
But you're
because in my mind, I really wanted to move on, and I did. And the reason why I threw all your stuff away was because I was ready to move on. But it was like you always find a way to crawl back into my life.
I find a way to crawl back in your life because
Yes.
we had a kid together, and not only did we have a kid together, I was taking care of your child. That was from the age of 3.
Listen, I would have made a decision to close this chapter between you and I, and moved on with my life and found somebody else.
Yeah, and not recognize that the man that was taking care of your child, whose father ain't in her life.
But you wasn't thinking about your daughter.
But
when you
I was
texting that
taking
female.
care of your
You was
daughter,
thinking
though.
about yourself.
I took care
You was
of your
thinking
daughter.
about self-pleasure.
And who else was there? And you were thinking about yourself too if you wasn't talking to me. If you sitting there having conversations with
Listen,
yourself in your brain.
I never texted another guy.
That don't mean nothing.
When you was texting
just
that
because,
female.
Listen,
I was never texting
that's
the guy
okay.
the way you was texting
that's
that
okay.
female.
Just